There are shows with psychics.
And there are shows with doctors.
But there's no show like The Psychic and the Doc.
Your practical paranormal power unleashed.
This show synthesizes the talents of world-class medium Mark Anthony, the psychic lawyer, psychic explorer,
and street smart spiritualist, behavioral psychologist, Dr. Pat Baccili. All subjects are on the table and no topic is taboo. Inspiration, insight,
action, and fun as Mark Anthony connects callers with loved ones in spirit.
In tandem with Dr. Pat's fresh, no-nonsense, street smart, intuitive insights. And she is hilarious.
Extraordinary problems
require extraordinary solutions, which may come from this side
or the other side. This is The Psychic
and the Doc, and it starts now.
Rocktober.
It is Rocktober.
Well, wait a minute. Okay, so when I tell somebody about Rocktober, everybody, welcome to The Psychic and the Doc. I just want to give you all a heads up. Whenever we do shows like this is just my experience. You don't have to call it fact. You could call it fiction or alchemy. But whenever Mark and I get really wound up to do a show like this, inevitably something gets a hiccup. So what I want to say to all you callers is when you call in the show, usually you can hear the show. You're not going to be able to hear the show. It may sound like dead air. It's not dead air. And so we'll keep reminding you, and they're working on this fix as we speak. There's just some things that we control, and the phone system is not one of them, but we never have. I mean, look at your cell phone. Rocktober. Mark, did you know that this is the 20th annual Rocktoberfest in New York City?
No way.
No way.
No way.
20th. And it's a very cool thing. It is a 20-year journey fueled by music, but it's for cool kids. So the cool kids are given the kind of mobility aids they need, right? See, these are the things that some people do when they're out there in the world and they're just doing good stuff. They're doing great things. And so did you know there was Rocktoberfest? Like New York is having Rocktoberfest.
Well, New York is such an amazing city anyway. I like what
today is Rocktoberfest.
Wow. And can you imagine being at Rocktoberfest in the middle of all that would be wonderful. And it's nice to see that something positive is happening because there's so many negative things going on in the world. And that's one of the things about The Psychic and the Doc. We're the eye of the hurricane. We're your calm spot with all the craziness going around. You can call into The Psychic and the Doc, and Rocktober rules. So right now, for everybody in New York who's rocking out, that's fantastic. And for all of our listeners, you guys rock. And the title of the show, the theme of the show is Rocktober Rules. It's all about you. And that is why Dr. Pat and I have done this show, put the show together, and that's why we do it. It's about you. It's about the callers. So, this is a call-in show, 1-800-930-2819, and we are going to rock with our callers tonight.
All right. I want to start out a little bit. I got to ask you a couple of questions about the whole rock thing. I know you're like super up to date, like about a lot of different music things. I've heard you talk about, especially like Broadway shows and shows like that. I am not that. I'm not like, I mean, I don't even know what's in Carousel. But when we're talking about rock, I want to take a quote from something I heard Stevie Nicks say the other day, and I got real sad. I got emotional. I got really emotional. So Fleetwood Mac, they have been at the top of my list for a long time. And they have been a band, despite, I don't know, like the little spats here and there.
Yeah.
But everybody wanted Fleetwood Mac to come back out. Now, Stevie Nicks, she's touring, but they wanted Fleetwood Mac to come back out. And I think I would have said the same thing Stevie Nicks said. Um, and I really think that it was only only Stevie, most incredible, great, rich Stevie. She was in American Horror Story Coven. I loved her in that.
Yeah, I saw her in that. Yeah,
It's like, when Christy McVie passed away very recently,
yeah.
Stevie's like, no, there is no Fleetwood Mac without her. And I stopped for a moment, and I had this moment of Chris McVie, and I had this moment, and I got it though. I got it. Somebody that was so instrumental all of the years kind of like took a back seat, except for a couple of real number one hits. But you always saw her on the keyboards, playing the keyboards, right? And it was so cool that Stevie Nicks came out and just made that one statement. But it made me get a little, I got teared up there, Mark. I got a little
Well, she
teared up.
said that they couldn't do Fleetwood Mac without Christine McVie.
Yeah.
And Fleetwood Mac has very long history because there was Mick Fleetwood started it, and then the band went through some changes, and then Lindsey Buckingham, Stevie Nicks, Christine McVie, John McVie joined, and then it really became Fleetwood Mac. And then they put out mega hit after mega hit. And Christine McVie, aside from having a beautiful voice, was an incredible songwriter. And I think that with a group like that, the dynamic and the chemistry, it's just not right. It's like, the Beatles. When John Lennon died, George Harrison said, the Beatles won't get back together as long as John is dead. And even though they did the anthology, what they did was they took a couple John Lennon tracks, and then Paul, George, and Ringo worked with it like they would have, but they weren't trying to replace John. And it's like the Rolling Stones without Keith Richards. It just wouldn't be the Rolling Stones. And I think that based on what Stevie Nicks has said, is Christine McVie, she wrote the pop songs, she had the musicianship, and I think that she was a binding force, because there was a lot of personal dynamics going on in Fleetwood Mac. There was Stevie and Lindsey Buckingham, and then there was Christine and John McVie. But through it all, she maintained this very stabilizing force. But it's sad too, because as far as music goes, Fleetwood Mac is done.
And they were buds. See, this is what I love about this. They were buds. They had such a close bond. And that's what's so powerful, that, when we hear news like that, people are like, but no, they went through so much, bad breakups, affair that probably shouldn't have happened, but they did, a diet of drugs, alcohol. I mean, they've gone through it all, and they emerged as classic. And it's so important. And yet at the same time, I'm really struck this year by the Rocktober reflection. And I'm also thrilled for, and I will call her my friend, Olivia Newton-John, who had passed. And now they have another album out. And I want to say to you folks, go check this out. I mean, her duets album, she has volume 1 and volume 2. I mean, what an angelic voice. And we do have permission to play songs from Grace and Gratitude, which we may do. But you and I are here to celebrate the importance of an evolution of creativity that we call rock.
Yes.
Who knew?
What's so funny? I was talking about Keith Richards, and I saw a quote from him recently, and he said, young people are always talking about, old people don't rock. And he said, we invented it.
I mean, right?
Yeah, and I saw Mick Jagger interviewed, I think it was on 60 Minutes. I don't know, it was some program over the weekend. And the interviewer said, well, you're 80 now. I mean, how do you feel? He goes, well, it's highly overrated, and it's not like I had a choice. you know, he said, you either do it or you don't get here. And it's funny because when you get these rock and rolls, I mean, Paul McCartney is back on a world tour. Rolling Stones just put out a new album. It's amazing when you see them still out there and doing this. And I think it's important. Also, it's an inspiration for all of us. If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah.
A lot of the people that I know at IANS, the International Association for Near-Death Studies, they're in their 80s. They're pushing out. We had PMH Atwater on the show. She just celebrated her 86th birthday.
Right.
And she's going strong. She just
Yeah.
had a new book come out, and she's still on the speaking circuit. And she said, well, I'm not as fast, moving around as I used to be. And I've talked to Dr. Raymond Moody and Dr. Colonel Dr. John Alexander, who we had on this show. And they've all told me, they said, well, what am I going to do? Am I going to stop? Am I going to sit in a rocking chair on the porch? I like doing what I'm doing. And it just shows you, as long as you give yourself a purpose, and music can give you a purpose, and it does.
It does. I mean, when I'm sitting here during the day and I'm not doing, talk shows or speaking with our hosts, and I'm in the work of building the network, I got the tunes going on. But I want to share this, and we're going to go to break, then we're going to hit the phones. I was talking to Barbara Scheidegger today. Barbara is one of our hosts. She's amazing. Her brand new platform is called the Ageless Zone. And her tagline is, don't let age rule you, rule your age. And her story, from being born in Switzerland, what that was like growing up, overcoming challenges, obviously being a highly successful CEO in Los Angeles, Beverly Hills. I mean, the story is amazing, but it doesn't come without challenges. And to see her now, I'm telling you, this is a woman that decided to become a model at 60, went to walk the runway in a swimsuit, and they looked at her and they said, you can't walk. And Barbara says, I can walk just fine. And they said, no, you look too young. They're never going to believe you're that age. And this is the world we're living in. You see, what did that do for her? Fired her up more. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're getting ready to get fired up for everybody. Now, those of you just texted me, Rocktoberfest is in New York at the Hard Rock Cafe. No, it's not here. We're not doing it here. Just send me a text. I just want to, it's in New York. It's actually happening now. Hard Rock Cafe. But you could still listen to the show while you're on your way there. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody, welcome back. This is the Psychic and the Doc, and this is Rocktober show. So we're going to ask all of you that when we get you on here, we're going to ask you, give us your favorite rock group. I do want to give a couple of other shout outs, and we were talking during a break. Yes, we're reflecting back on some of the, let's just say, more senior groups, the Tina Turners, Olivia Newton-John, of course, who passed. But I got to tell you, I am a Swiftie. I never thought I would say that. When I say that, people are like, it's impossible for you, Pat. We know your music type. We don't. And I said, let me tell you something. Just go get Cruel Summer going on. Just listen. How did this woman reinvent herself, pull herself up from the ashes of cruel criticism, take the punches coming at her, and she has just nailed it. I went to look on iTunes because I am an iTunesy too. And I just looked, who's got the top songs? And I'm just looking at that. Cruel Summer, Taylor Swift. Oh, what is this? Cruel Summer, Taylor Swift. Oh, number 3, Cruel Summer. Okay, wait a minute. Number 4, Taylor Swift. I'm like, how? Because she's Taylor Swift and she's fearless. Let's go to the phone, Sierra. There, I've admitted it, everybody. Sierra's happy.
On the phone, we have Jeannie from New Jersey. Jeannie, you are live.
Hi, Jeannie. Welcome to the Psychic and the Doc.
Hi.
Hey, are you on a speakerphone?
Yes. Uh-oh, I cheated. All right, I'll do it. Off I am.
Oh, that you're from New Jersey. I get it.
Yes.
Jeannie from Jersey. You got to get
Uh,
off the speakerphone. All right,
yes,
Jeannie from Jersey.
I took it off. Speaker off.
Okay. Jeannie, what can we do for you today?
I want to know if Mark is going to be able to connect with any of my past loved ones, any spirits.
All right. I'm gonna kick you right over to Mark. Go ahead, Mark.
All right, Jeannie, let me see who's coming through. I'm getting a female energy connecting with me, and she is associated with your female side of the family, meaning your mom's side of the family. And what I'm getting with this woman is trying to get a fix on her age. I don't think that she was real elderly. I think she could have maybe been in her 70s when she passed. And her passing
In
was
what
not a quick
age?
in her 70s. Okay. And hold on. You got to let me do this before you wait until I say, do you recognize this, or does that make sense? Okay. And when I'm saying she's in her 70s, she could have been in her 60s. I'm just trying to get a fix on the way she looked. And her passing was not a quick event. And the reason I'm saying that is because I see her wearing like a pajamas, like a nightgown and slippers. And that doesn't necessarily mean that's what she was wearing prior to passing, but that's an indicator that she had a decline. In other words, it wasn't just she keeled over and passed. It doesn't mean she was laying in bed for 6 months. It could have been a week or 2 or 3 weeks. But I do feel swelling in my feet and ankles, indicating edema. Her whole abdominal region, I'm feeling swelling. And this isn't obesity. This is inflammation, fluid buildup. And I'm also getting, prior to passing, this very tired, very sedated sensation. So what was going on with her, Jeannie? It appears that she, based on what she's telling me, she was under medical treatment, painkillers, sedatives. She had a lot of problems in her abdominal region, stomach, intestines, kidneys, and I feel that I feel like I'm drowning in my own fluids. So if this was something else going on with her lungs, that could be congestive heart failure or something like a pneumonia pleurisy. Does any of this make sense to you?
The nightgown, slippers, the passing, not a quick event, but not the abdominal part.
Okay, all right. Hold on. See, when I do a private reading, I usually do a 10-minute orientation. The abdominal part means something was going on with her abdominal organs or organs in there. Okay, do not give me her name. What do you believe the relationship was to you?
My mother.
Yeah, remember I said a female connected to you through your mother's side of the family. All right. What did she pass from?
Heart attack.
Heart attack. Okay. That's why I was getting the fluid buildup around the chest. Also, with the fluid retention, remember I said there was edema in her feet. Not unusual for heart patients to have the edema. Okay. But I'm also getting, there was something going on with an indigestion or something in her stomach. That doesn't necessarily mean it happened right prior to passing. It could have been something that was going on with her. All right. This is strange, and go with me on this. She keeps showing me images of seahorses. Now, seahorses can mean the actual creature, or it can mean some type of artistic representation. But seahorses, to me, also indicate, like where I live in Florida, there's a lot of these, they're disappearing now, but there's these little mom and pop hotels hotels and motels along the ocean. And they got like images of seahorses and sand dollars and that sort of thing. So this could mean maybe she enjoyed, or there's a shared memory where you guys spent a lot of time at a place like that or along the beach or ocean. Or sometimes horses or seahorses can mean people who enjoyed gambling. All right. Anything there makes sense?
It would, if it was someone, a different relative, yes.
Okay, now, part of my explanation in private readings is spirits are never alone. They always show up in groups, and we can jump from one spirit to the next. how does the gambling or seahorses make sense to somebody else? Or who is that somebody else? Just the relationship, not the name.
The relationship is my half sister who had a house at the beach.
But a house at the beach. Okay. Hold on. Was her passing rather sudden? Like it didn't take real long. Did it come? Hold on, you're knowing. What I'm getting here is this this sense of tingling through my body. Could be neurological. There could have been spasms, convulsions associated with her passing. What did she die from?
Cancer.
Cancer? Okay.
Yeah.
When she went, was it unexpected? In other words, yes, we knew that she had cancer, but could she have passed sooner than was anticipated?
No.
Okay. This is not your sister. I'm getting another female coming through, and I'm getting convulsions, seizures. This could be a stroke or some type of neurological issue. That's not to say that your half sister isn't there, but I'm getting that as well. Instead of me doing this because we're chewing up a lot of time, let me see if I can get a message for you from your collective of spirits. Okay. They're telling me that lately you feel like you're on pins and needles. They're telling me there's a lot of apprehension, a lot of anxiety going on with you right now. And it's not any type of mental or physical disorder. You're just actually under a lot of stress. And you're facing a very big decision coming up. And they say that true to form, Jeannie's, you're taking into account every single factor. Like you're thinking about everything that could go right and as well could go wrong. And what they're telling you is keep doing that. It's interesting. I was expecting them to say, no, don't do that. No, they're saying keep doing that because that's how you eliminate the cons. In other words, make a list of the pros and the cons. And they said, trust your heart, trust your feelings, and that will never guide you in the wrong direction. They're also telling me that you have the gift of discernment. And you are you're a good read on people and a good read on situations, and you will make the right decision. That's what they want you to know. Dr. Pat, do you have anything?
Yeah, I'm going to go right to the seahorses because I'm not sure who that was coming in, but I want to talk about seahorses and what they mean because they're very powerful. I mean, we do a lot of shows, and one of the things we talk about are I talk about are symbols. And when I think about, what we're talking about a seahorse, it is a powerful spirit guide, but I want to tell you what that means. Each of us have our guides. I wear a pendant and I have 4 animal spirits on it. But this particular thing is the message that they bring forth. And there are multiple traditions, but what they bring forth are calmness, contentment, friendliness, gentleness, patience, perspective, right? They also bring inflexibility. But what I'm trying to tie together is with what Mark said. This animal token, this spirit, this beautiful guide, their spirit guides, you want to call on them because they are the antidote to stress and anxiety and indecision. In Chinese tradition, this is a very powerful thing. They're known as sea dragons, right? And they have come through Rome and China and just all sorts of places, but they are here to teach a lesson. End of the story with them. They are significant power, but they have one thing in mind. They're here to teach a lesson. And so everything Mark said to you and the guidance he said to you is really important. However, you want to really look and do your own research on seahorses because they have meanings in love. They have legends. They have Greek mythology. But the bottom line to them is they're a power animal when you need guidance through rough emotional waters. Can you hear me what I'm saying? I'm not making this up.
Yeah.
This is literally what they do. They swim in as your spirit animal like tonight, And they are a totem for souls who can see all sides of a situation. You see all sides. That's confusing. That is stressful. It's exactly what Mark was talking about. But the seahorse is the kind of animal that will lead you to safe guidance through rough waters, whatever those are. So do your own homework on that. Look them up. There's a lot of quotes about them. There's a lot of things about them, but try to lean into what they are as a spirit animal for you. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeannie.
Yeah. Thank you, Jeannie. Sierra,
Thank you,
who do we
Mark.
have next? Yeah, you bet. Isn't that funny? Seahorse?
Yeah, I mean, I love
Wow.
when people always say, "Oh, you're just flinging stuff out." It's like, really,
Yeah, no, I don't
seahorse?
think so.
Yeah, and
I
I'm
mean,
glad you said like sea dragons because I hadn't thought
yeah.
about that and the symbolism. And I want to say to the callers and to the listeners, this is why I love working with Dr. Pat. I get this imagery coming through, and she's a behavioral psychologist, and she is an expert in dream interpretation and interpreting metaphors. And so many of the things that come through are metaphorical. And so I'm like, seahorses and Dr. Pat, oh, well, they mean this and this and this and
Yeah.
this. And then I'm listening to what she's saying. It's like, hey, that does make sense with what came through.
Yeah, they're also, this is one other thing that they're known for. They are the teachers. I forgot to tell her what they teach you. Oh well, I hope she's listening. The seahorse teaches paternal rearing of offspring. That's what they do. Paternal rearing of offspring and the understanding of the importance of the courtship dance. Now, that doesn't mean between two partners. There is a courtship that goes on. They also come together on a turbulent and emotional times. They help you hold on. They give you the ability to hold on, but they are the paternal rearing teachers, and you got to listen to them because they're going to bring forth the spiritual searching, but more importantly, you got to keep your blank together. Sierra,
Gotta
who do
keep
we
that
have?
blank together.
You got to keep that blank together.
Okay, up next we have Laureen from Chicago. Laureen.
Hi, Maureen. How are
live.
you?
Hi, my name is Laureen, starting with an L.
Laureen, I like that. How do you spell that? Laur. How do you spell it?
EEN.
Beautiful. Thank you. How can we help you today?
Oh my gosh.
Where do I
just
begin?
getting-
Like, is that what
Yeah.
we're doing? Why don't I connect you to Mark and see if he's got a message for you? What do you think about that?
Amen. Thank you.
Amen to that, Mark.
Hey, Laureen. Well, you got a lot of spirits around you, but I'm getting a male energy coming through, and he feels like he could very well have been on your level. Now, what that means, your level means your generation. And I'm getting with him this abrupt sensation. And when I get an abrupt impact to my body, that can mean stroke, aneurysm, or quick passing. And in this case, I'm feeling the abrupt quick passing because I am feeling significant impact to my face, my upper chest, and my back. And I can hear like crack. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be too graphic, but this feels to me that this and he was younger could be God, because sometimes people in their late teens look like they're in their 20s, and then there's people in their early 30s that look like they're 20s. So he had a youthful look to him. But I am tasting blood, and it doesn't always mean a bleed out. That could be an internal hemorrhage as well. But this was a very abrupt, very sudden passing. And he is presenting to me a ruby. Now, a ruby is an indicator, could be a name like Ruby, Rudy, Robbie, but rubies are the birthstone for the month of July. Now, what this could mean, Laureen, is a significant birth, death, anniversary, or event, which could be connected to him, or it could be connected to you or someone else close to you. Okay, because when a spirit gives us information, it isn't always about the spirit. It could be about you or someone else close to you. It could mean a piece of jewelry of significance with a red gemstone, most likely a ruby. But birthdays, anniversaries, or events in July, a Ruby, Rudy, Robbie, and like I said, a younger male, a traumatic passing. It almost feels like a car accident, from like I'm getting slammed in the front of my body, but also the back, which are the mechanics of some type of automotive collision, but it could have been something else. Does any of this make sense to you?
Some yes and some no.
Well, how about some yes and some we're not sure yet? Tell me what parts of yes.
Yes. My birthday is in July. The Ruby Rudy thing doesn't.
Well, hold on. Hold
Okay.
on, hold on. When information comes through, like when I see a ruby, it could mean several different things. I'm going down what it could mean. So if the Ruby Rudy doesn't make sense, let's put that off the side. We know that the July ruby is your birthstone. That's your birth month. So we'll take that. Now, what about the younger male?
I had a very, very dear friend pass suddenly from COVID, but he was 60 years old and with gray hair. So
No, this is a younger male. So this could be somebody you knew when you were in that age range, or this could be somebody like maybe a nephew or a friend whose son died. This is a younger male. This is not somebody in their 60s. Plus, this was traumatic. Do you know a younger male who was killed in a car accident?
my younger brother had a friend who it was a motorcycle accident, I think, but that's kind of like stretching it.
No, that's not stretching it,
nobody's
because a motorcycle is an automotive accident. Okay. Hold on. And is your younger brother still here in this world, right?
Yes.
Is your younger brother losing his hair? Is his hair thinning?
Gone.
I'm sorry, what does that mean?
Gone. The hair is gone.
Oh, it's gone?
I just said it.
Gone.
Gone.
Okay. Well, then, okay, that's a verifiable fact following a message. When the spirit gives us a message of an explanatory advisory nature, this young man came through and said, abrupt passing, automotive, gave you your birth month. And you said, well, this could be a friend of my brother's. Okay. And then he immediately followed that up with your brother's, like an issue with his hair, as in thinning. And you said his hair is gone. The verifiable fact that your brother's lost his hair is how the spirit is letting you and I know that you properly interpreted and received the message. So even though you didn't expect this guy to come through, that's how spirit communication works. Okay. First off, say hi to your brother for him. And then is there, he said, hold on. He said, this is interesting because the last caller was facing a big decision, and this spirit is telling you that you're like dealing with a whirlwind. You're dealing with some type of personal, it almost has like a financial implication to a crisis. Now, I don't want you, disclosing finances and financial issues, but he said that you're facing some type of whirlwind and financial crisis. Does that make any sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Wow, he's also talking about job opportunity. And the job opportunity doesn't appear to be like whatever occupation or job you're doing now. It's something new that's coming up, and it feels like it's related. Also, he showed me an image of Saint Joseph. I get images of saints because each saint means something different. And Saint Joseph can indicate that you may be going through some remodeling type of work, or you're considering or in the process of buying or selling a piece of real estate, or, either like moving or transferring a piece of real estate. Anything there?
I'm in the same home that I've been in for 25 years, and I'm facing the potential of I don't have to move, but it's a giant house to be in alone. So, and that's one of my big fears. So that could possibly be it.
Okay.
That is exactly it. Okay. Because the issue is buying or selling, transferring a piece of real estate. And that's a whirlwind. Okay. And you said it's a financial whirlwind. It's a big house to be in alone. It's probably a lot to take care of and expensive. The message is take the plunge. Take the plunge. They're showing like you jumping from a diving board into the deep end of the pool. I think, yeah, they're giving me a thumbs up. That means that you need to seriously consider moving, downsizing. In other words, take the plunge. You'll be happier. You'll be happier. It's like I see like chains coming off of you, burdens, responsibilities that you really don't need. Dr. Pat, what's your take?
I want to go back. I'm just going to share something really quick. It's not a mistake that Mark brought up the ruby. I don't know how much you know about rubies, but I'm going to tell you something. They're as hard as diamonds. That's number one. I get a sense that's also you, right? You're pretty tough. You're pretty tough.
I'm being forced to be because I'm in a very challenging life circumstance.
You really are. First of all, I want to tell you, I seriously know what it's like to be living in a home that you've been in for a really long time and to be facing with the decision you're faced. It's not easy. And you're looking at somebody that was homeless at 17. So I understand about home. You know what I'm saying to you? Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay. This is not something I want you to take lightly. I want you to understand the power of the ruby. Ruby is out about protection and wealth. I don't know if you knew that. We also relate it to love and passion. And you obviously love where you live. Tell me if I'm right on that.
Absolutely.
You love it. Your bones are in this place, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Not only mine.
Go ahead.
It's where I raised, our 3 kids. And I don't know how much I'm supposed to divulge, but the big part of my life challenge is
Yeah.
I have a husband who's a decade into young onset dementia, and he's at home with me with a live-in caregiver. But I've been preparing for what I know is coming for a decade, and it's such a gift that his heart still beats, yet is absolute torture because he's bedbound, nonverbal, incontinent. His heartbeat is about all he has going for him. And so that is, the big life change that I'm facing. The house is part of that. And then one other component, for 36 years, I've had the same career in an artistic profession. And I'm getting a lot of pressure from my work, trying to force me to retire 2 years before the age of retirement. And I desperately need the health insurance, which I'm going to
help you out right now. For Mark, he doesn't like a lot of information. I love it because I'm going to help you out. I love the message that came through about take the plunge, but I have a slightly different interpretation of it. Are you ready?
Yes.
What did I tell you about rubies? They are as hard as diamonds. This means you're not to be bullied in your life right now. You have the resilience of that diamond, that ruby. You understand? So let's take the career first. They can't make you retire. Just ignore them. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
I missed what you said after they can't make you retire.
They can't make you retire. Just ignore them for now. That is one too many things to have on your plate. If they force you, then you call us back. Do you understand? So I'm trying to prioritize things for you right now to help you. Okay.
Okay.
Number one, unless they're like, let me show you the door. Ignore it. Just go in, do your job, do it the way you want, have fun, do it well, because you're excellent at it. So we're going to take them off your plate now. They don't exist.
But I've already been forewarned that they intend to put me on probation in the new year. So that starts a whole channel of being.
That's 2024. I want to buy you some time now.
Okay. I will listen.
Yeah. Please. Because you need some breathing room here. You need some breathing room. Whatever they're going to put you on probation for, you get your ducks lined up. You take the plunge and you do your own homework, investigatory work, and you make sure that they don't do anything they're not supposed to do. And we're not going to let them bully you for now. So you've got a couple of months before you even have to think about these people, correct?
Yes.
Good. So they're off the table. Let's talk about the house. Why do you think you have to get rid of the house right now? Just give me one answer.
I don't. I don't at all. There's no rush. I can afford to live here for the rest of
Good.
my life. It's just
Just
that
take that off
it
the
is,
table right now. Taking it off the
okay.
table right now. Got me?
Yep.
You have one goal right now for you. You have this time, as painful as it is, with your beloved. It's painful. I know. I want you to take all of the other things off the table and take the plunge into spending your time the best you can in the care and the admiration and the love. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
You can't do
Thank
that
you.
with these other things. You can't. It's so hard. I don't want you to think about the home. So the decision that you have to take the plunge about is to be all in with you, your life, and your love. What did I tell you? This gemstone, Mark, brilliant. It represents love and passion. Who is your husband to you?
That's it.
That's it. That's it. Take those other things off the table. Don't let your work bully you. Just say, okay, thank you. You move on and you take care of what's in front of you. You're as hard as a diamond, and yet you're as soft and open with love and passion for your beloved. So please take those other two things off the table. Do not move. Put this right in front of you. Can you do that?
Yes, and I have been trying to the best of my ability. And of course, being the one who has to do everything takes
I
a
know,
lot of
but
time
I'm
and
telling
effort.
you, take the house conversation out of your brain, clears the energy. We're clearing it for you right now. Mark already did that through the message. I'm going to take the job thing off your plate because probation in 2024, let them knock on the door then. Got it?
Yes,
Clear your energy field, your mind, and clear your heart and be fully present. Okay? That's my message for you.
yes. Thank you.
All right. Please call in
Is my
again.
husband, is my husband suffering? Can you, is he okay in there?
We can't do that. We can't do that. And we don't know those things, but I will tell you
Okay.
this. I do believe love is an energy. And the love, that's
Yes,
the energy. And the love that you give out is what I want you to focus on. That's what I want you to focus on. There's some things you have control about and some things you don't. But you have control about the way you show up. And I've took these other things, I took them off the table. And I'm giving you permission to show up in this role, love and compassion. You got it?
Amen. Thank you so very much. I really
Amen,
appreciate
sister.
it.
Thank you. You bet.
Thank you for
And
calling in,
do my
Laureen. God bless you.
Thank you. Same to you.
Wow.
Okay.
That's why we're doing this show, because sometimes people don't have anyone to talk to about these type of problems, and they're talking to us and they're maintaining their anonymity. But Dr. Pat and I are using our unique skill set to help people get through some difficult things, or at least to look at things in a new way that can help them make the right decisions with what they're doing.
Well, that's why I love corporate America. And, I want to say this for anybody that's out there wants to get message to corporate America or get to the people upstairs. You are in for a great surprise because you're not watching the statistics. The Generation Zers, as generation, they have one thing in mind. When they were asked over and over again, what do you want from an organization? What are they obligated? They said compassion and empathy. And I'm telling you now, corporate America, you better get on the stick because these are the people that are going to leave you in a hot dang second. All right, Sierra, who do we got next?
Next up, we have Mary from Minnesota.
That's like a little rhyme. Hi, Mary.
Mary from Minnesota, are you there?
I am. I'm right here, Mark.
10 for
Hey.
good buddy.
Woo!
How can we help you? Let's get you over to Mark.
Okay, Mark. I was
Yes.
wondering if you had any guidance for me. I've had a lot going on in my life, and I was just wondering
Well,
what the
it's
spirit
not
world
me
could
that
offer me.
it's not me that gives you the guidance, like you just said. It's your
Oh, I
spirits.
understand.
Okay,
I
okay.
can give her the
Yes.
guidance.
Yeah, that's Dr. Pat's job. All right. So let me start
Okay.
with I'm getting a male energy coming through, and he feels like he's connected to you through your father's side of the family. So this could be a dad or an uncle or a brother. But he was older when he passed. I see he was gray. Looks like he was thinning hair on the top, but he still had hair on the sides and in the back. Wow, my lungs are burning up. So he had some type of issue with his lungs, could be emphysema, COPD. Yeah, and I'm getting an atrophy of the lungs. So a lot of his lungs, his lung capacity was severely diminished prior to passing. And I also feel nausea. Nausea indicates that he was having difficulty eating and or holding down food prior to passing. Sometimes nausea is a cancer indicator. It doesn't always mean cancer, but it could. And this guy, at least back in the day, was a smoker. Why am I saying that? Because I'm seeing cigarettes and smelling cigarette smoke. Okay. All right, you're laughing. Does this make sense to you?
It does. Yes.
Okay. Do not give me his name, just the relationship. What is his connection to you?
He would be my brother-in-law.
Your brother-in-law. Okay. Um, would you describe him at times, and there's a reason I'm asking this, as kind of cantankerous? Like he could have a real attitude, but then I want to burst out laughing. This is a strange mix. Hysterically funny at times and then really cantankerous at others. So you're walking on eggshells around him.
Yes, you're correct.
Okay. So, and here's what he said. I'm trying not to laugh. He goes, I know you wanted advice, and I'm the last person you thought that come through to give it to you. Well, I'm who you got. And then he's laughing about this, but he's not laughing at you. He's laughing because he is here on behalf of your collective of spirits. And he's very concerned about your heart. Now, when I say your heart, that doesn't necessarily mean a issue like a cardiovascular issue. I feel, based on what he's transmitting through me, a broken heart, like this terrible woe, sadness, grief that you're going through. And he's also focusing on your renal, RENAL glands, which would be your kidneys. And I feel like this renal failure, renal exhaustion. So whatever is going on with you emotionally is really taking a toll on you physically. Does any of this make any sense to you?
All of it, yes.
Okay. He said, you're one tough bird, lady, and you're going to make it through. I mean, wow, this guy certainly doesn't, he's not all warm and fluffy, but he is telling you like it is. He said, you're a lot stronger than you know. You're going to make it through. Now, I know we're running short on time, so I'm going to pop you over to Dr. Pat.
I'm going to talk to you the same way I spoke to the last caller. You have to put your priorities in order. What is the number one stress point for you? What is the thing that keeps you up at night?
My daughter's illness.
Thank you. That's it. What are the other things, the other incidental things that keep you up? Because I'm going to give you the same advice that I just gave, because we don't have a lot of time. Are the other things that keep you up at night related to your daughter or not?
They're just normal stressors. I just worry most about my daughter's illness.
Good. So I want to help you here. And I really wish I had more time, but I want to help you. No one can talk to you sincerely and know what's in your heart. But I'm going to kind of talk as if I do. And I apologize if I'm wrong. Your daughter is so important to you. I know it. You know it, don't you? What I want to encourage you. Your daughter is super important to you. So important to you. More important to you than we can even talk about today. Correct?
Right.
I want you to surround every thought you have of your daughter, regardless of what the medical reports say, all of the paperwork. I want you to surround her in a bubble of your love that's free from fear. Can you do that?
I can.
That's what I want you to do. It's the same thing I said to the previous caller, but it's so important to do that. You know, they know what you think, they know what you feel, and they will heal faster and better if they're surrounded with love and optimism. And I know that may sound a little hokey because I'm Pollyanna Patty, but I will tell you it does work.
No. Okay,
Can you do that?
I can. Yes,
Do you talk to
that's
her
what I've
every
been
day and
trying to
tell her?
do.
I'm going to help you. Do you tell her every day you love her?
I do.
Keep doing it. Keep doing it. And please, there are so many support groups out there for you if you need them. This is the hero's journey that you are on. Okay, Mark?
Okay.
Absolutely. And I want to thank you for calling in because, you're reaching out and I get the sense that your daughter's illness is really intense right now, but it's going to
It is.
be doing a turnaround. Is there anything about her being on some type of different diet, like an alkaline diet? Because I keep getting alkaline diet and alkalizing her body. So you may want to look
Yes.
into that and
Mhm.
make sure you run that through
She's
your healthcare provider. Go ahead.
She's already doing that. She
Perfect.
has
Then
cancer and she's doing a cancer diet.
cancer
Got it.
diet. Okay, because
So
your
you're
spirits are chiming in. All right, your spirits are correct. They want you to do that. We're running out of time.
Thank you for calling.
Yeah, thank you for calling in. God bless
Thank you
you.
so much. Really, yes. Wow, Mark, what a great show. What a great audience we have. We didn't get to everybody today, but we are going to make sure that in our next show that we do, like call-in show, we're going to start right at the top and we're going to get right to it.
And yeah, and next
Go ahead.
week, everybody, I'm going to be in Houston at Body, Mind, and Soul. I'm giving a presentation on debunking death, the science of reincarnation and near-death experiences. I'll also be doing 2 nights of an evening of spirit communication, and I'll be on Great Day Houston, the KHOU CBS TV show. Please go to my website, afterlifefrequency.com, sign up for my newsletter. You'll see all these events in the calendar of events. And we got a great show next week with Dr. Dedrick Hilton, parapsychologist.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Oh, we got the spooktacular Halloween show. So we got a lot going on. Go to my website, afterlifefrequency.com, and Dr. Pat and I will see you every Thursday right here.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning into The Psychic and the Doc with Mark Anthony and me, Dr. Pat Baccili, right here on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Hey, look, come back next week so we can explore with you more of life's many challenges and learn from fascinating guests. And you know what? Even Mark and me. We'll connect you and discover insights from people in this life and from the afterlife. Extraordinary problems? Yeah, they do. They require extraordinary solutions. But step into the world of possibilities with us on The Psychic and the Doc. That's every Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on TransformationTalkRadio.com. That's TransformationTalkRadio.com. And don't forget, we're also live face-to-face on Facebook.com, Transformation Talk Radio.